Now, we've all been there. You're perfectly fine and healthy, you're getting on with your daily activities, and then boom, out of nowhere, you get an injury. So let's discuss what's happening there. Alright guys, it's Nathan here from Cryotherapy UK in Sheffield, and in today's video we're going to be discussing the principles of soft tissue dysfunction. So it is so frustrating. You're perfectly well and perfectly healthy, and then out of nowhere you sustain an injury doing what you normally do. Now there's a reason this happens, and what we're going to discuss today and look at is the reasons and causes of what may be leading up to this, and how you can be aware of the signs and symptoms and prevent this from happening to yourself. So in order for the body to move effectively and efficiently, the soft tissues within the body need to be functioning properly. So impairment of the soft tissues such as muscles, tendons, ligaments and cartilage can affect the quality of movement. So this impairment is caused by two factors, which is dysfunction and injury. And in today's video, we're going to be looking specifically at dysfunction. So what is a dysfunction? A dysfunction is an abnormality or impairment within the soft tissues which has no specific condition. So it's typically free of disease, inflammation, and no injuries are present. So why does our body get injured if none of these things are present? So throughout the day and during exercise, the body is put throughout stresses. So when these stresses are balanced, the body remains balanced. The body is usually able to cope with these stresses on a day-to-day basis. And these stresses actually help to improve our body and make our bodies better. However, if too much stress is put on the body can then become imbalanced, and which then leads to injury. Now these imbalances can start off really small. However, if they're not corrected over time and treated, it can lead to something much worse. So as I say, the body is usually good at coping and adapting to the stresses of the body. However, over time, it can lead to a downward spiral, which makes it a lot worse, and then eventually leading to injury. So we're going to look at this cycle of injury and the injury and dysfunction cycle. So an imbalance could be literally start from the muscle shortening. So if the muscle shortens somewhere because of, for many reasons that can happen, such as a muscle becoming lengthened or an injury or a pre-existing injury, due to that muscle shortening, it can create a muscle weakness somewhere in the body. So if that muscle weakness occurs, what then will happen is for the body, in order to cope with the demands of this new stimulus, it will start to alter joint mechanics in the body and alter joint function. So then this altered joint function can then lead to neuromuscular inefficiency. So things within the body aren't firing correctly or firing as they should, which then leads to an injury. If this injury isn't treated and rehabilitated properly, this can then onset the cycle again. Additionally, whenever the body gets an injury, the soft tissues around the injury will automatically shorten and restrict range of movement in order to prevent the injury from happening. And this is another way where the cycle can restart. So it's very important that we always get the correct treatment and diagnosis when we get injured. Now there's plenty of reasons and causes why a dysfunction may happen, such as body composition, inactivity, lifestyle and diet, to name a few. So we're going to talk about a few specific ones, such as synergistic dominance, adhesions and altered joint mechanics. So let's start with a synergistic dominance. To complete certain actions and movements within the body, each muscle has its role. So we have agonist, antagonist, synergist muscles and fixators. An agonist and an antagonist muscle is basically when one muscle relaxes, the other one contracts. So whenever one muscle is working, there's another muscle that is relaxing. So all muscles work in pairs, and a good example of this is the bicep and the tricep. So whenever the bicep contracts, the tricep will relax, and when the tricep contracts, the bicep relaxes. So they are antagonists, agonists and antagonist muscles of each other. So while the bicep and the tricep are contracting and relaxing, you have muscles surrounding that called the fixators, which help to hold the muscle in place. And then you have synergist muscles, so muscles around the muscles which aren't specifically designed to complete those actions, but assist and help in those movements. So if the bicep and the tricep aren't functioning properly, then those synergist muscles, so they're supporting, assisting muscles, will help to move the bicep and tricep and complete the action for the body. So there's a reason why these muscles get injured. Because as the synergist muscles, when they start to take over the prime movers, because they're less efficient, fatigue quicker, and alter the joint mechanics of the movement, it causes them to become injured. So this is why it happens, is because it's less efficient and less effective, and it's not designed to do that job. So this will then lead to dysfunctional movement patterns leading to injury. So the next reason why a dysfunction may occur is due to adhesions in the muscles. So during daily activity or when the muscle's working, what happens is micro tears start to appear in the muscle. So whenever this micro trauma is presented, what is happening is collagen fibers start to lay themselves down in order to repair the muscle and build the muscle back, or the soft tissue. So if this happens ineffectively, it can then cause the collagen fibers to stick and then create adhesions. Now, adhesions can be felt and palpated and will appear as a lump within the soft tissues. So usually these micro tears help to build and improve the muscle. However, to a greater degree, this can start to develop adhesions, or what we know as scar tissue. So when you get scar tissue in a muscle or any soft tissue, that then affects the movement quality and the efficiency of that soft tissue. So then if there's a build-up within the soft tissue of scar tissue and adhesions, that then leads to injury. So it is very important, if we find scar tissue and adhesions present within a soft tissue, that we get those removed as quick as possible, which can do a few various massage techniques. It's an important note to make that the more adhesions present themselves, the more dysfunctional the muscle will become. So it's very important to get these sorted out straight away. So the more present these adhesions are, the more likely it will lead to a dysfunction and injury later on. So the third and final reasons for dysfunction is altered joint mechanics. Normal joint movement will result in compression and decompression of the joint as it's moving in its natural plane of motion, which is the way it is designed to move. Now, an unhealthy joint will result in altered fluid dynamics, increased joint compression, reduced joint lubrication, and increased friction on the joint's cartilage. So as you can imagine, all of this is bad for the joint, which then again leads to injury and dysfunction. So factors which can be contributing to altered joint mechanics are a blockage within the soft tissue, such as a loose body, which may need surgery to fix, tight muscles, and pain. So whenever you are feeling these, again, it is important to get your injury rehabilitated or to get it treated and diagnosed so that we can avoid dysfunction. So that concludes today's video on the principles of soft tissue dysfunction. If you found the video useful, give us a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to our channel. Let me know in the comment sections what you want to see next, or any questions that you may have about today's video. As always, make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. Really appreciate you guys, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.